G'day guys, how are we going? Well, camping setups. How basic is your camping setup? Or maybe it's not so basic. After 45 plus years of going camping, I'm going to show you guys just how basic my camping setup is. Let's go and check it out. Righto, so this is my basic, very basic camping setup, but you know what, for me, I find it also very comfortable too. I don't miss anything, that I really extra need. This is feeding them all I need. And I don't know about you guys, but do you know how many items that you've got to set up at your camp before you can say, yep, camp is actually set up, now you time to kick back and relax? Well, for me, it is 5 items, and I've got one more to get out, so I'll just grab that, and that'll make up my 5. And the last one to get out for me is my trusty table. That is it. So once this comes out, I've got my 5 items set up, and then I'm ready to kick back and relax. So we'll just go through them. Number 1 is the awning, comes out every time. The extension sheet, that's another one that I set up quite often too. Now we've got 5 minutes there, 5 minutes there, so we've got sort of 10. The good old trusty swag, that comes with me on all my trips, and that's a couple of minutes to roll the swag out. The camp chair, about a minute or so, and the table, as you can see, about 30 seconds to throw the table out. Now, under 15 minutes, I am fully set up and ready to kick back and relax. Now, I know probably some of you guys, you might have some families and those sort of things, so you're going to be carrying a bit more gear than what I've got here. But, if you're a beginner and wanting to get started out in some camping, just to get out here and explore the beautiful outdoors that we've got to go and see, you don't need to go and buy all the latest and greatest gear just to get out here and enjoy this beautiful countryside. Now, how much money do you kind of spend on camping gear, I suppose, is the next question. Well, I suppose at the end of the day, you just got to buy the gear that's within your price range, within your budget, of course, so you're not overstretching yourself. But if there's a possibility, where you can probably just stretch that budget just a little bit and buy maybe a little bit better quality gear, it might cost you more money now, but down the long run, way down the track, it's going to save you money, because you might only buy maybe once, twice tops, instead of 2, 3, maybe 4 times by buying a little bit cheaper quality gear. Now, a lot of my gear, as you've seen in a lot of my videos, some of my stuff's, 15, 20 and 30 year old. Man, my swag there, that's, well over 15 years old, and so with a lot of this gear here. So, it just all depends on how much you want to spend, how much gear you want to take. But again, only get the gear that you're going to need just to get out, so you can get out there and start enjoying it. As I see, my camping setup, it's as basic as it gets, and you guys can add to it as you need, or you don't have to necessarily get a simple, very, very simple setup like this. But for me, I just like the very, very simple setup. The quicker I can get camp set up, the quicker I come out here and just enjoy the surrounds where I am. So, that's what you guys just got to work out. Don't go out and buy all the latest and greatest gear just because someone else might have it, because it might not suit you. So just got to get some gear, just get some basic gear just to get yourself started, get going and get out here in the bush and enjoy it, and you'll have a cracking time, maybe with a simple setup like this. But you guys have got to work that out as you go. At the end of the day too, look, camping, it needs to be fun, but also at the same time it needs to be comfortable. So that's where you've got to work out your comfortable side, how much gear you're going to need so you are comfortable. But for me, I'm extremely comfortable with this, so that's just this simple gear just works. It works well for me. But what I'm going to also do, I'm going to get everything out of my full drive here, and I'm going to put it on the ground here, and I'm going to show you just all the gear that I bring. So let's get the gear out and I'll show you what I've got. Okay, so that's the last item to get out of my patrol that I take away on my trips. This is everything now out of my patrol here, completely unpacked, other than 3 items that I've left in there. One is my fridge, leaving that in there obviously because that's bolted down to my false floor inside. I've got my water jerry can also strapped back to my cargo barrier, so that's staying in there for the moment. And then up on top of my roof, I've got a solar panel up there that I take away, especially during those warmer months. If I'm base camping up for 2-3 days or longer, well, I'll definitely take a solar panel away with me for those times to keep that battery charged up, and the fridge running nice and cold. So if we start at this end here, I've spoken about this a few times. This is my bag of recovery gear, and that sits on the floor inside in the front seat there on the passenger seat, because I do a fair bit of solo stuff. So if I ever need some recovery gear, it is really handy to get to. Down there in the green bag that I just put down there, well, I've all seen that. That's my campfire cooking setup that I've got for when I'm cooking on the campfire. Absolutely fantastic setup. And then these couple of items here, got my log splitter for splitting up firewood from a campfire, and then just a little axe there just for cutting up some kindling and that sort of stuff to get my campfire going. In this little box here, this is just a box of odds and ends, little mechanical stuff, just in case, you know, something goes wrong, or, you know, spare hose clamps and those sort of things, and pulley fan belt there for the idler pulley in case the pulley goes again. So there's a few things in there that I take, just little nicks and crannies that just might come really handy there one day. And then over here I've got my gas stove and the gas bottle down the bottom down there. Now I very rarely take this. I do everything, all my cooking pretty much on the campfire as much as I possibly can. But I take that mainly for, you know, during the winter times when it's, you know, generally raining and that sort of thing, and sometimes maybe a bit harder to get a campfire going so I can cook my dinners up. So that's a really good backup for those times of the year. Over the back here, my trusty full-length Dry-as-a-Bone coat. Always take that all year round because you just never know what the weather's going to do for you. And then just simple little bag of clothes just in that lot in there for any change of clothes that I might need when I'm away. Over here's the shovel. Now everyone should have a shovel for a few reasons, just in case, you know, you might get yourself bogged or you dig yourself out of the sand or whatever else. You're certainly going to need a long handle shovel, but the big one too is if you're camping in one of these remote locations where there's no pit toilets, you're going to need a shovel. Go out there, dig a hole for your toilet, and then so make sure you get yourself a toilet for, don't get your toilet, but get yourself a shovel for one of those reasons. And then down here is my tool kit. So that's got all my spanners, sockets, open enders, everything I need for, whether it be for my vehicle or anyone else's vehicle, if something breaks or, you know, needs tightening up, everything is there. And then down here, this is probably one of the changes I've made also, is this is my chainsaw now in this bag. So what I've done here, because I used to have my chainsaw inside that big long aluminium checker plate box, and it just took up too much room in the back in the patrol in there. So here's my chainsaw now, and here says my fuel, my oil, got my chainsaw pants there, and the mighty chainsaw. Everything now sits in this little bag, and look how much shorter it is. It just takes up so much less room to put in the back of the patrol. So that's now got my chainsaw in it. And then the 4 boxes, well, you know, you've seen these a few times. I've got a video there, a direct video where I show you how I pack them and what I've got inside these 4 boxes. So check that one out there. But this is my kitchen and my pantry and kitchen cupboards, if you like, all packed away in these 4 boxes. As I mentioned, you know, these were inside my big drawers. Now they're in here, and my recovery gear, as I say, is down there in the bag. So what else have I got? That is it. That's all my camping gear, completely everything I take. The only probably change I'm looking to make in the future, because I want to do, you know, some longer trips, you know, whether it be 2, 3, 4 weeks and those sort of things. I sort of don't really want to do it in my swag as much as I love, you know, love my mighty swag. Always keep it, it'll still get used, but for those longer trips, I'm looking at maybe one of these 30-second tents where I can take away, you know, for those longer trips, because, you know, if you go away for 2, 3 weeks, it's really hard doing it out of a swag. It just so is. So I'm looking for maybe a little bit of a comfort upgrade there in a tent arrangement of some sort. But I've been looking at those 30-second tents. I think that's be the way to go. And then I'll just bring the swag out, you know, for those weekends and shorter trips that I go on. And the other thing too I'm looking at is a shower arrangement, because at the moment I've got my steel bucket, which is in these boxes here. And generally with that, I just, you know, boil some water up on the campfire and then, you know, have a bit of a wash from that. But it'd be nice to have some sort of a shower arrangement for these longer trips. So there's probably a couple of items there, other than what you see here, that I'm looking to add into my camping gear as I go forward down the track. This just goes to show how little gear you do need to be able to go out camping. But check out that video there that's got all the boxes in it, and you'll see everything that's packed away in there and how I go about packing it. But otherwise, until next time, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you on the next one. Hooroo.